into the earth my roots go. Draw up earth, mother power, she will help me grow. Rise up, fill me, give me life, strengthen me, a mighty tree, nourishing power from below. Earth, air, fire, water, come to me, Gaia's daughter, come to me, Mirrodin sun, ancient spirits, mighty ones. Bright sky, eagles take to fly, east wind blow. Sunrise, far-seeing eyes, blessed sight to know. The path, the song, forever new, like the dawn goes on and on, calling me, shows the way to go. Earth, air, fire, water, come to me, Gaia's daughter, come to me, Mirrodin sun, ancient spirits, mighty ones. Fire flare rising in the sky, your fearsome glow. Deep down from Pele's womb, pushing from below. Toast me, burn me, consume me, the catalyst for phoenix flight. Light the night, let your power grow. Earth, air, fire, water, come to me, Gaia's daughter, come to me, Mirrodin sun, ancient spirits, mighty ones. Life blood pour from clouds to earth below. Flash flood won't be denied. Cleanse me, relentless flow. Shape me, make me, carry me deep within myself. The shadow place, I will face what I need to know. Earth, air, fire, water, come to me, Gaia's daughter, come to me, Mirrodin sun, ancient spirits, mighty ones. Earth, air, fire, water, come to me, Gaia's daughter, come to me, Mirrodin sun, ancient spirits, mighty ones. Earth, air, fire, water, come to me, Gaia's daughter, come to me, Mirrodin sun, ancient spirits, mighty ones. Earth, air, fire, water, come to me, Gaia's daughter, come to me, Mirrodin sun, ancient spirits, mighty ones. Guard our circle till we're done.
Merry meet and welcome, everyone. This is the International Pagan Association, and we are doing the Who Am I interview. And today we have the awesome band Crow Women. Hello, Crow Women.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
And we just got finished listening to your song "Calling the Elements" from your second album, Crow Magic. And, we usually start with how did you get into the music? But since y'all are a group, how did the Coven Crow Women become the band Crow Women?
Well, it's a saga for sure. We were a coven. We've been a coven for over 30 years. And we used to do a lot of singing in our rituals. And sometimes we would write music for them. And it turned out that we thought maybe other people would like to use our music in their rituals. And so we started doing some things like a few concerts. And people liked what we were doing. And so we recorded an album. And then we recorded another album. And now we have 4 albums. But it was interesting when we tried to separate the coven from the band. We had to have a meeting in Elaine's trailer to talk about how we were going to do that. And so it's kind of an ongoing juggle, but we're super happy that we did that. So
She's right. We have a band agreement that we signed. That was a long time ago, but we've continued on.
Right, that's really good. That's really good. And you know, that communication and that commitment to each other, it really helps a group go on. And a coven is always, you know, that's your that close family tie. So you talked a little bit about the inspiration of the song, calling the elements. So that inspiration came from your ritual work. Is that correct?
That's right. Carol wrote that
Yeah.
Yeah,
song. She could tell you a little bit about that.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
the
Carol.
one that wrote that. And I think back at that time, I was doing a lot of songs that involved the four directions or the four elements. And this one, it just flowed really nicely. And I think one of the reasons it gets a lot of downloads is that it serves that function that Deb was talking about of providing something that other covens or groups can use in their own, individually or as a group ritual. Um, they use it to call in the directions before the ritual, when you're doing the salt and water and fire and earth and casting the circle and all that. And it can be used with all four directions, or if they want to focus on one direction, they can just pull out that particular verse and use that one. And
Mhm.
it's been used in various of the large community gatherings that we've been to in New Mexico.
And we have a blog. This will come up several times, but we curate a blog called the Pagan Song Blog, where we talk about the background of a lot of the songs, as well as other musicians. And Carol has a really nice series of blog posts where she offers a ritual for each of the elements that incorporates that verse from the song we're talking about, calling the elements. So there's one
Mhm.
that's the element of fire ritual, and it has like a whole ritual to dedicate yourself to fire, and it includes that verse. Melanie,
Mhm.
which verse did you sing? Do you remember?
The first one. Yeah, I'm in the first part of it.
Okay, very
It's
cool.
yeah, it's such a special song. I love what Carol wrote. It really it just yeah, it has a lot of meaning for me. Um and the first one is about the earth and our roots going down into the earth. And I do a lot of grounding meditation where I imagine that I'm a tree and I'm going down into the earth. So this fits really well with that.
Hmm, very nice. Cool. So you touched a little bit about what you offer. Um, what do any of you find challenging about the pagan community?
Thank you. Sorry, I'm broadcasting from a meadery in Santa Fe, and
Oh,
they just brought me a glass of mead. I'm at Mystic
Ooh.
Ambrosia Meadery in Santa Fe. Uh,
life is hard.
Yeah.
Really. So that would not be one of the challenges. One of the great things about being pagan musicians who sing about mead is people are always like, sing the mead songs.
Sing
It's
the
so
mead
much
song.
fun. And we have a mead song that I wrote that's for casting the circle at a mead makers gathering. And we've used that at a bunch of mead makers gathering, casting the circle with a corkscrew. So
Hmm.
that's not a challenging thing. What's challenging about being pagan musicians?
I feel like maybe herding cats, getting all of us together, now that some of us are in various places, right?
Herding
It could
cats
be,
was what the phrase that came to my mind as well.
yeah, getting us all together to practice or,
Yeah.
be learning the songs, from far away and then flying there to record. That's been a challenging thing, but also
I think
rewarding.
I think another thing that's challenging is that as each of us has become more confident as a songwriter, we tend to write these elaborate arrangements with harmonies and coming in at different times. And that can be challenging trying to learn that and trying to teach that, trying to get it to sound the way that it does in our mind. So it can be a lengthy process. I guess if we stuck to simple chants, things would be pretty easy, but we don't always.
Mhm.
And of course, like musicians everywhere, there's the problem of money. It's not like we're like making the big bucks with our little recordings with the micro niche market of the pagan community. So, it takes a while for us to build up enough money to be able to make the next album. So we
Mhm.
save money from selling music, and then we get together some sponsors and some help, and then
Mhm.
we make the next album. And in some professions, I think, you can, like at our level, you can expect it to be more lucrative, but we just do it because we love to.
Right. I do tell people also, I know everybody loves to go to Spotify, and that's great and everything. It's great. It's a good way to get your music out there. But I try to tell everybody, I said, look, if you're going to these places and you're meeting these musicians and these bands, buy their CD, buy it. I don't care if I don't have a CD player because, this is the world we're in right now, right? But I mean, right now where I'm at, but I have CDs. So when I go to places, I try to buy a CD, although I don't have a CD player, but I know that that is supporting that band, that musician, and whatnot. And I know the Spotify, it does help, it does help a little bit, a little bit, but um, it's very important. I think I tell people all the time to buy people's music, buy their CDs, their albums, whatever they're putting out, buy it. That
Right.
does
We
help the
have,
artist.
oh, at the end, we'll talk about where the music is. Digital
Oh,
downloads
yes,
from
ma'am.
Bandcamp. We made decent money on digital downloads of the whole album. And
Yeah.
our next project is going to be to put out all of our records on a thumb drive. So
Oh, very cool.
it
That will be cool.
bypasses the CD problem.
Yeah.
That'll be in a few years though. So buy the CDs in the meantime and the digital downloads.
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that will take us on to the next question of um, how can IPMA help you enhance your music reality? And Elaine, how do you feel about being a part of this International Pagan Music Association? And I know the IPMA has helped you a little bit already, but
Mhm. Well, we're so just delighted to have been the best pagan band of 2023. And I feel particularly connected with IMPA because IPMA, International Pagan Music Association, I always have to get the acronym.
right.
I feel really connected with it because I got to come and accept that award. So I got to meet you people. It was really
Mhm.
fun. It was in that particular year, it was at a festival called Starwood. And coming up on stage and being handed this giant crystal trophy. It just was really a special moment, and being recognized by the community for what we've done. And
Mhm.
and during that time, I got a lot of messages from just other pagans and pagan musicians saying, I'm not surprised you won. People appreciate what you do. People know what you contribute. The Crow Woman contributes to the pagan music liturgy, and we're just really pleased that you got that award. So that's one thing. I think doing the awards program is excellent. I hope you just keep that up. And
Yeah.
just having your website, it's nice to have our own entry there where we can say who we are. This interview is posted. Obviously, people are looking at it probably through there. Um,
Mhm.
and links to our music and stuff. It's just, you're definitely on our side. I don't know if anyone else has anything to add to that.
Well,
Well,
it kind of goes.
exposure is how we get our music out there. And through IPMA, we do get exposure. And that's the key right there. When people hear what we have, they tend to like it, but you're the vehicle for getting our music out there. So thank you.
Right. Did you want to have anybody else say? Anybody? Anything else? No? Okay. I want to go on to the next one because there's so much stuff that y'all are into. And because I was talking to Elaine at the beginning, and she's mentioning little things here and there, and through this through this interview, mentioning things here and there and stuff that I've heard through the grapevine. So I want to please share with everybody what your albums and what you're getting into, and also the about the message that Crow women have.
Okay, we will talk about that. So, we have a great way for people to get our music. And we have a site called Pagan Song, and that's where we have links to getting all of our albums either on CD or on digital download. And that's where we have a bunch of information about where the songs came from and who we are, our bios. So that is a good place to start, is Pagan Song. And it's starting out with what I said at the beginning. Our message is about the fact that we use music in our sacred practice, and we want to share that with others. And IPMA really helps us do that because we're in kind of a place where there's not a lot of people. I mean, that's a good thing. And it's also difficult for us to get our stuff out. And
I
so
mean, our place as in Durango, Colorado.
Durango, Colorado is not in a big metroplex.
It's not a big market. That's true. And for us to get to a big market, we all have to travel. Not that easy for where we are.
So on the website and also on our Bandcamp site, there's our 4 albums. And I think those 4 albums really are like, they show our journey as a band. So we started off with Crow Goddess. And that one was the songs that we were singing around the fire circle at the festivals and that we got from cassettes of pagan music in the 90s. And we learned all of these cool little chants. And we were like, these are the ones that people like. And some of them are by individuals that we later got to know. And some were just, who knows who wrote them, and they're just around the fire. And so that first album has just a handful of originals on it, but most of it is our songs that people like. They think that we wrote them, even if we didn't, because that album has been very popular for a long time. We put that out in 2006, right?
Yeah,
2005 or 6, one of those.
Yeah.
that's before
So
I
that was
left.
the first one. Anyone have anything else to say about doing Crow Goddess?
Mm. Yeah, those are some of our favorite songs that we were singing for a long time. But it's interesting, that we started with doing other people's songs and then very quickly, started writing a flurry of our own songs. Although I don't write. I'm one of the few people that doesn't write songs in the band. I think everybody else is pretty much a songwriter. And I feel like, it started with Elaine doing a lot of them, maybe a few other people, but then pretty quickly, like everybody started writing music. And it's amazing. I mean, we have some amazing songwriters as far as I'm concerned, that write really good stuff.
So our second album, Crow Magic, that Calling the Elements was from, that one has like 2 themes to it. So the first one was just, we like this song, that's the theme. But the second album, one of the themes was the directions, 4 directions, because that's one of the things that we have done in our priestess training within our coven. Anybody want to grab that and talk about dedicating to directions and stuff?
Well,
Sure.
we did that early on, back in the late 90s and early 2000s. We were dedicating to directions or elements, and some of us did multiple turns at certain directions or elements. And then we started moving on to other things like spirit animals or gods and goddesses.
And it was a thing that we did with each year when we would rededicate ourselves to our practice and to the goddess. We would also dedicate to a particular thing that we wanted to learn about, like air or like
Right.
Carol said, a spirit animal.
Right. And,
Right,
and we've
at
learned
Imbolc.
at Imbolc, we do that, right? We've learned to be very careful about dedicating to fire.
Mhm.
Like what's going to happen in your life? Hasn't that happened to several people? Like fire energy comes in.
Yep.
So that was one of the themes. And the other theme on the second album is about going through the past rites of passage. So there's a lot of real pretty songs there. There's a baby blessing, wickening song. There's a girl's coming of age song. There's a croning song. You were talking about that a little before the interview about becoming a wise woman, becoming a crone. And we have a ceremony that we do in a coven when someone does their croning. So I wrote that song for one of our members for her croning ceremony.
Very,
Hmm.
very nice. Mhm.
Hmm.
And then there's seasons. Deb, you had the title song for that, the lead song for that.
Right, our third album was a trip through the wheel of the year. And there's a song called We Turn the Wheel that sort of explains how we see the wheel through the Sabbats and what we do on each one. And then the album is formed through the seasons with songs for each season that are from all of the songwriters in our coven. So that's the third one, and it's called The Pagan Journey Around the Seasons or something like that.
Around the wheel, pagan journey
Around the wheel. Yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
Very nice. Okay.
And then we have one album that we just finished. Who wants to talk about that?
And that one is Pantheon.
Yeah.
And it is, well, let me back up just a minute. Um, we are a women's coven. We are all women and have been. And as such, we really focus on goddess energy. And that is our dedication to the goddess. But we realize that most of the songs that we sing and that we write about are about the goddess. And we decided that this fourth album, Pantheon, should be more inclusive. So we worked to try to include many songs about many different deities and to include the energy of gods and male deities as well as female deities. So Pantheon includes songs that are big and broad about like all the male gods, but also very little songs. Like I have a song about the spider deity, and that's certainly a little song. But every song on Pantheon reflects on a specific deity, and we tried to be very inclusive when that album came together. And I will mention one thing. I have a song on that album called well, it's a fire spinning song. And that song was written a long time ago when I was dedicating to fire. We were talking about how we used to, during Elmbok, we would dedicate to an element or perhaps a particular deity or spirit. When I dedicated to fire, I wanted to conquer my fear of fire. And so I thought, how can I do that in a creative way? So I learned how to spin fire. And that has become a thing that I love doing. And it made me feel a partnership with fire instead of being fearful. I felt comfortable and collegial toward fire. So the fire spinning song is about that. And it's a song that that the Crow women often sing while I'm spinning fire. But it can be sung around a fire. It doesn't have to be sung when you're spinning fire. It can just be a song about gathering around fire and what that means to us. So that would be dedicated to the goddess Pele, for example, one of the deities on Pantheon.
Very cool.
And Deb has a beautiful song called Ishtar with layering. It's so Crow Women, the way that you arranged that song. You want to talk about it?
Sure. I had to unmute myself. I wrote that song because, as we were talking about earlier, of connecting with a dark goddess. And I was given the name of Ishtar in one of our rituals, and I started to learn about her. In any case, when I wrote the song, it came out to be like a procession of acolytes heading up to Ishtar's temple. And so you hear them coming up, and then there's a layer where we talk about all of the ways that we find and worship Ishtar. And so there's kind of like 4 different songs in one. That's how I was inspired for that song.
Very nice. I like Ishtar. I had an experience. I was reading about Ishtar, and the day that I was reading about her, my husband came home that night and brought me just a little piece of copper ring. And I was reading that copper was one of her metals, and I was like, copper is one of her metals, and it was very interesting. I didn't do a lot of digging into that at that time, but it's interesting now. You got me thinking about it. Now I'm going to have to go do some digging on Ishtar because
I
I'm
know
hearing
we
it. Yeah,
should follow up with each other about that.
yeah, yeah. And you brought me a little. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to follow up with y'all. So the last question here, and I won't keep y'all much longer because I could sit and talk to y'all some more tonight. So, um, and you've mentioned this before. You've mentioned a blog and some of your music. Where can people find your music? Where can they listen to you? Where can they stream it, purchase it? Where can they find you?
Okay, well, if you go to Bandcamp, bandcamp.com online, and you put in Crow Women, it will take you to us. And all 4 of our albums are on there. So if you like a certain song, like if you're curious about Deb's song about Ishtar,
Hmm.
or any of the ones that we're talking about, you can just buy the one song for $1, or you can get the whole album. I think, oh, what is it, like 10 or 15 bucks? It's 10. It's 10. And just download it to your device and you can play it on your phone. And
What
that,
a deal, because if you buy an individual song for $1, there's certainly more than 10 songs
Right.
on an album. So if you're
Hmm.
paying $10, you're really getting such a deal.
right. The last one was 21 songs. They've all been about that many because we are so prolific and we love to write music.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
I'm also
Bandcamp is,
seeing, oh,
oh,
I
go
was
ahead.
just going to say, I was seeing on Bandcamp that you can actually buy all 4 Crow Women releases for $30.
Whoa.
Yeah, we have a special
Oh,
on. Yeah, so we're going to
wow.
leave that special on as long as this interview is up on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a really great deal, and it's so supportive of us because we're
Hmm.
still paying off our last album. And, if we want to go perform somewhere, usually we don't get paid enough to make expenses. So it's good to have some
Right.
money in the treasury. So Bandcamp is really good. Buy all 4, like she's saying. And
Hmm.
and then we are selling our physical CDs for those who still get them,
Hmm.
either in person at events in the Southwest where we are, or else you can buy them by going to Pagan Song, the blog that we've been talking about, which is an amazing blog. I want to mention a little more about it in a minute. But you can go on Pagan Song, and like Deb was saying, you go to our Buy Crow Women store, and
Hmm.
you can buy physical CDs, and one of us will mail them to you. One of us, people that you see right on the screen,
Hmm.
we'll mail them to you. And then, of course, we're on the streaming services. And so you can find us on Apple Music, on YouTube, and on Spotify, just all of them. We just selected everything. So we're readily available if you want to just listen to a song. You can play a whole album on the services, or a particular song. And on um, Spotify as well, we're on a whole bunch of playlists that I have made on Spotify that I've curated. So if you want songs for healing, then you go to Elaine Brown playlist. You can find my healing songs playlist. And on the blog on Thursday, well, this will be in the past for most of you, but one of the things you can look for Chapman Green's post about healing songs, and that includes that Spotify playlist. And then the song that she's featuring on her blog post is by Ginger Doss. It's Healing Ourselves song.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of resources on that blog website. It started off as a fan site for us, and for the first year, we wrote all of the posts. But then we started inviting other people to write, and now we've got 20 some bands from around the world that write
Oh,
blog
wow.
posts for pagan songs. So it's like a meeting place of pagan musicians writing about pagan music. And so we've got Celia Farron, and we've got Spiral Rhythm, and Louis Guru, and Kernunos Rising, and Gaia Consort, Christopher Bingham, um, just like people all over the country. Adrienne Peugeot, or Pigot, I don't know how you say it, of Spiral Dance in Australia. She writes for us. Wendy Rule writes for us. Just really a lot of great musicians, many of the people who are members of the International Pagan
Mhm.
Music Association. Brian Henke writes for us. I know he's real involved with y'all. So,
Mhm.
so yeah, check it out. What did I miss about how people can find us?
Pagansong.com.
Just period. Just againstSong.com. Just go there.
Right. And the
Uh,
blog is part of like what we believe in
mhm.
is pagan music, not just ourselves,
Right.
but other pagan musicians. And another
Mhm.
thing that we did that was also like because of what we believe in is the Red Album, which
Mhm.
is an album of pro-choice music. And we just did a concert not that long ago. I don't know, Marilyn, you could talk about like
Yeah,
that.
I'd love to
Yeah,
do that.
I was fixing to say, I know y'all were talking about albums. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, y'all are part of the Red album too.
Right.
Weren't y'all part of that? Yeah. So please tell us about that.
Well, we were part of the Red Album and strongly believed in the message of it uh,
Mhm.
as a protest against the Supreme Court striking down Roe versus Wade. So all of the songs on the Red Album are about that. And all of the proceeds from selling that album, all of the proceeds go to a couple of organizations. One is the National Abortion Federation, and one is Elevated Access, which I'd never heard of, but which is so great. It's a group of people with airplanes who will fly a woman from a state where she cannot get reproductive services to a state where she can get reproductive services. So we're very pleased to be able to support them. One way that we did that was to get the support of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Durango, and they permitted us and encouraged us to give a concert in their sanctuary. And many people came. We sang many of our songs, which are about women's empowerment and goddess energy. And we sang our song from the Red Album, talked about the Red Album. We raised about $1,000, which was sent directly to the National Abortion Federation. So we feel like we were able to put
Mhm.
our money where our mouths are,
Mhm.
to walk the talk, not just say we believe this, but to do something specific, something practical and tangible about that.
Right. Very good. Very good. Well, can you be booked for performances? Because I know that many people may want to know that.
What was the question again?
Uh, can you be booked for performances?
Oh, yes, we
Yes.
can. Yes.
Yes, I
Okay.
can.
Yes, we can. And
Okay.
we would love to do performances, and we have a great time when we do it, right, Melanie?
We do.
Awesome. Awesome.
And
Well, that.
and when we perform, just want to say that, we have our serious woman power songs and our Wheel of the Year songs, but we have a lot of funny stuff too.
Mhm.
So people find us pretty entertaining when they book us. So if we're booked at a festival, we might do like a workshop on pagan music and maybe some other workshop, and we would sing for the main ritual and we would do our
Mm-hmm.
concert. But in concerts, we tend to make sure that we bring out some of the favorites that people like and also some of our new things that are funny. Like on the most recent album, we had a song that I wrote called Clipper Joy. And I just wanted to bring that up because Melanie was there when I was writing
Mm-hmm.
that song. Do you want to tell them where we were?
Yeah, we were in Cabo, right? We were
We were in La Paz, Mexico.
in La Paz, right? Oh, in La Paz, Mexico. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, Elaine wanted to write a song that was about Poseidon and sailing, and I was really getting into sailing at that time, and uh, and just all the taboo things that you can do on a boat,
Mm-hmm.
like cutting people's hair.
Right. And so I wrote this song about beauticians who are on a boat. And this was right before Melanie and I went out and spent the day sailing on my friend's boat. So that's why we're thinking about it in particular. So everybody's in that song um, at some level. And it's all about what happens when the beauticians break the sailing superstitions and start having trouble with Poseidon, and they have to fix that.
Oh.
So it's an example of something that's just funny. We'll
Mm-hmm.
get up on stage and threaten you with our blow dryers. I know there are some other fun songs. What would you say is the song that people love the most of our songs that we always have to do?
Well, we didn't write it, but Girls' Night Out is one of the favorite songs. And we usually wave our brooms around in the air.
Yeah,
But
so
Carol has
fun.
written a couple of cute songs about we are witches and we have cats and hats and we fly through the air. I mean, it's really a fun little
Bats.
song. Um, so we've got some amusing songs that are
Mm-hmm.
just fun to sing and still pagan. So, we covered those bases.
Yeah, one of the ones that I wrote early on, and I think it's on the Crow Goddess album, was my words for The Lion Sleeps Tonight. And the title of it was We Won't Sleep Tonight,
Oh,
recognizing at
yeah. That's
pagan
right.
festivals, there's a lot of people who are up till all hours of the night drumming and dancing
Mm-hmm.
around the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right in the chorus is wick away, a wick away, a wick away, a wick away, a wick away. Instead of a wimp away, it's a wick away. We have fun with that too. But we just love performing. So yes, if someone wants to have us come perform, go to the Pagan Song website where we have our Crow Woman area um, and get in touch with us. And I believe that the International Pagan Music Association website has also got a link through get in touch with the band. Don't you have that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, there, you'll have something in your when it talks about the band underneath, you'll have a link there. Yes.
So click through from your favorite pagan music association.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Crow Women. I had an awesome time. I would love to continue talking to you more and more and more. But we have been on here for a while. I have taken so much of your time already. I appreciate it. You're coming to me from everywhere, it seems like, and I know it was really hard for you guys to get together and get a time together, and I appreciate you. And I know everybody's going to love this video. I just know it.
Good.
Thank you so much, ladies.
We
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
you,
you.
Thank you,
Priestess
Thank
Sharona.
Sharona.
Many
Absolutely.
Thanks
blessings.
so much.
Many blessings. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And I can't wait to see y'all in person one day. Maybe I can come out to Southwest and see y'all in person because I've never been out that way. So
You
I'd love
can
to come.
stay with
So,
me.
okay. Awesome. Awesome. Good deal. All right. Thank you so much, ladies. And thank you, everyone, for listening to the Crow Women. Who am I? And this is just one of these shows that you will not want to miss. It's a great pleasure. It's a wonderful opportunity to meet these ladies. And I'm telling you, get their music. Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Blessed be.